Stationary point sometimes is also known as turning point. So let's say you have a graph that goes up and down. Okay, this graph is known as concave downward. Okay, a graph that's concave downward. So if it's concave downward, the very top point is known as the maximum point. Okay, that's where the stationary point lies. Okay, stationary point. At stationary point, dy over dx, or the gradient, is equals to 0. On one side you have a gradient which is positive, and on the other side you have gradient which is negative. Let's have a look at the graph that's concave upward. With concave upward, the lowest point is known as minimum point. At this point, the gradient, again, dy over dx is equal to 0, and on one side the gradient is negative, and on the other side the gradient is positive. So this side is negative, this is positive gradient, and over here is negative gradient, and over here is positive gradient. This positive and negative gradient can be determined by doing a double differentiation, the second derivative. Okay, example 1. Let's say I have y equals to 1 plus 54 x cubed over x squared. Okay, before we differentiate, let's split this. So that should be 1 over x squared plus 54 x cubed over x squared, which will give me x to the power of negative 2 and plus 54x. Differentiating this, dy over dx will give me negative 2x to the power of negative 3 plus 54, which is negative 2 over x cubed plus 54. And if I double differentiate this, I will be getting negative 2 x to the power of negative 3 times by negative 2, which is positive 6x to the power of negative 4, and this 54 disappears. Okay, so we already have two terms. One is for dy dx and the other one is d2y over dx2. Okay, the second derivative. Now to find the coordinate of the stationary point, okay, make dy dx equals to 0 to find stationary point. Okay, at stationary point the gradient is 0. Okay, so to find the stationary point, where is that point, what is the x and y coordinate, make dy dx equals to 0. So we have negative 2 over x cubed, negative 2 over x cubed plus 54, which is equal to 0. So negative 2 plus 54 x cubed over x cubed equals 0. X equals to 1 over 3. When x equals to 1 over 3, y equals to which is 1 plus 54 1 over 3 cube over 1 over 3 square. That's 1 over 3, which is 1 over 27. 54 times by 1 over 27, which is 2. So 1 plus 2, which is 3 over 1 over 9, and 3 divided by 1 over 9, which is 27. So the stationary point is x equals to 1 over 3 and y equals to 27. Okay, sometimes the question will ask us, okay, what is the nature of this point? Nature of this point is meaning whether it's a maximum point or minimum point. Okay, to find this, what we have to do is we do double differentiation, which we already got that. Double differentiation is 6x to the power of negative 4. Okay, so 6 over x to the power of 4 sub 1 over 3 cube, which is a positive value. If it's a positive value, meaning it's a minimum point. Okay, it's a minimum point. Okay, therefore the coordinate 1, 3 and 27 is a minimum point.